If you had to choose one story that if someone came up to you and said, "I don't believe any of this mumbo jumbo," Dr. Gallagher might be very smart, but I don't believe any of it. Would there be one story that you quickly share that you think would be convincing to that person?
Well, look, I mean, I wrote the book. I have a lot of stories, and if it doesn't convince anybody, it doesn't convince a person. I tell people my job is to present the evidence. My job is not to convince people. People. Jesus predicted that people wouldn't believe him, even though he rose from the dead. So it's up to God what evidence he wants to give people. If people don't believe it, that's on them. My job is simply to present the evidence. Now, I've seen so much myself. I've talked to about 35 people, Josh, who swore to me, because I haven't witnessed it myself. It's that rare. But I've talked to about 35 people who either claim or including a European professor of whom I know well, who claim that during exorcisms and outside of them, people have levitated. I mean, if that doesn't convince somebody that something is going on, it's hard not to. The anecdote I often tell is how when I first got involved with the case of Julia, my wife and I were in our bedroom and our cats went berserk, and they started scratching and clawing at each other. We didn't know what went wrong. We thought maybe they had catnip or, ate bad food or something. We had to separate them. The very next morning, actually to my annoyance, this priest, Father Jacques, brought this Satanist woman to my house. I told him later, please don't bring Satanists to my neighborhood. And
Right.
and the first word out of her mouth, I'd never met her before. She knew nothing about me, at least on a natural level. And the first thing she said is, "Oh, hi, Dr. Gallagher. Nice to meet you." And she was respectful to me, but she was kind of a nasty person. And she said to a lot of people, and she said, "Oh, by the way, how did you like those cats last night?" So she somehow knew that these cats had gone berserk.
Wow.
I later
Yeah.
told her, you better not do something like that again, or else, I'm not going to. I didn't charge her. And she was not a patient of mine. These people I talk about, Josh, are not patients of mine.